What is up, y'all? It's your girl Nick Robinson back again with the Yara Effect, and today we're going to jump right in and we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 12. It is titled "Frack is Back." Now let's jump right in. We see where Kelli goes to Shamea's house, and they're in her backyard with the pool and everything, chilling. That seems to be Shamea's favorite pastime. And they are discussing this trip that Kelli has come up with. She was saying how, she's going through this divorce and trying to be a mom and trying to do a restaurant. She just needs a girl's getaway. And yeah, she does. Because, baby, 150, how much is $158,000 to divorce a man? My God. Girl, what, okay, so y'all know I'm divorced, right? From my first husband, my children's dad. We didn't have nothing. We didn't have anything. So the only thing I had to pay for was pretty much filing for the divorce, and that was it. I didn't have a lawyer. He didn't have a lawyer. He didn't contest anything. We just just went and got this divorce. So I understand that when you have things with somebody, you have to split assets and stuff like that. It can be tricky. You know what I'm saying? And you want to fight for this and fight for that, but $158,000. Whew, that's more than people's salaries. That's worth more than some people's houses. And she's spending this just to get rid of a man. Whew, Lord have mercy. So she does need this trip. They are going to go to Grenada, and yeah, her and Shamea are gonna plan it. So I think that's cool. They need to go and just have a good time, right? So that's what she's talking about. Porsha, meanwhile, is trying to see about getting her a new house because she's in the middle of divorce as well. Who's not getting divorced? Because hell, you got Kelli, Porsha, and Drew in the middle of a divorce on a show called The Real Housewives. That's neither here nor there. I digress. But Porsha goes to this beautiful home. It is 8 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. It cost $4.3 million with a guest house. I mean, child, it's everything, pretty much. It's everything. And she's just trying to make sure that she doesn't end up like she did from her last divorce, where she didn't have anywhere to go. Because basically, Cordell was just putting her out. Sending herself to her mama house, sending her to her mama house, and that was it. This time, Porsha was she wanted to be sure that she had a plan in place. And it looks like she's following through with that. So she tells the girls, her mom and her sister rather, about the trip that she's going to go take with the girls and everything like that. And Lauren was asking her, are you okay with going on this trip? Because the last time I saw you and the girls, y'all was on the outs, you and Shamea or whatever. So Porsha explained that, her and Shamea are just going to navigate their friendship however they need to and not have to explain to anybody what the dynamic is of their friendship, which I agree. I don't know why the whole group got put into it. It's just kind of weird to me how that happened, but it happens in girl groups. Gossip, and maybe not even gossip, but just what one person said, it goes back to the other. And when you're not communicating with each other and you don't have good terms with somebody, it can get blown out of proportion. Different perspectives are added when the story comes back. So whatever, they put all that aside and they are cool. So we see where honey Shamea, she got on V103 with Big Tigger, the people station here in Atlanta. If you're not sure, it's one of the biggest radio stations in the city. And she was talking about her new single, her new album and everything. And while she was down to the V103, she did throw shade at her cast member, Drew. And she was like, oh, y'all play her song on the radio? One thing I can say about Atlanta is this. They gonna rep whoever is from here. Honestly, baby, you gonna hear Usher every single day. If you in your car at any point in time, you gonna hear Usher Raymond on the radio like it's new. I'm talking about you gonna hear Yeah like it just came out. You gonna hear whatever Usher have released over the years like it's new, because Atlanta reps its own. You gonna hear Luda. You gonna hear, So Def. You gonna hear the Brat. You gonna hear whoever is from here. You gonna hear that. Shamea know that. Like, she was just being shady or whatever because her and Drew have a situation where Drew keeps calling her lapdog or whatever. I don't understand Drew and Angela seemingly more upset with Shamea than they are with the beef that they had with Porsha. I can't stand when people do that. Like, I mean, you have a bigger beef with Porsha than you do with Shamea, but you keep calling her name. I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, we see that bull crap is still going on. Okay, so moving on. Angela, honey, with these 7 properties that she owns. Let me say this. I don't know at what point she bought the houses. Okay. It was at one point in around, like right after the pandemic and 2021, early 2021, where it was really a seller's market. You really could get your houses sold like this. We're not in that time anymore. Like, as time is going on, interest rates have gone up. People are not buying houses like they used to, because you used to be able to get an interest rate at like around 2.5%, and they had gone upwards to 7.5% and higher at one point. They're coming back down, but they're not as low as the 2.5. Okay, and the cost of houses, like the increase in the price of homes, has gone up. So when you add higher interest rates with a higher like dollar tag on the houses aren't going to sell as quickly. So here she is with 7 different properties. Like, I don't know what she's doing to make money on them, though, because think about it. When you own these properties and they have like water or electricity or whatever, you have to pay those bills. You see what I'm saying? So who's going to sit there and own properties and you don't have the water and the lights turned on? Who's going to do that? And you trying to sell them? Now, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like she is, having any type of short-term lease, as in like, Airbnb or Vrbo, you know what I mean, on the houses. In my opinion, that's what she should do. Because like I said, it's so many people that come to Atlanta for so many different things. Baby, until them houses sell, I would have them listed on Vrbo or Airbnb, period, and be making my money off of them. Because I'd be darned if I'm gonna be $2 million in debt and I ain't making no money off of these 7 houses that I have purchased. Now, in this episode, we see where she has sold one. She had it listed for almost $500,000, right? It was a 3-2, as in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, which I thought that was a lot of money for a 3-2. But when you look at the square footage, it's almost 5,000 square feet. I see where she got that from, right? Because that's a pretty nice sized house, about 5,000 square feet. But she ended up selling it at cost. Meaning she sold it for what she purchased it for, because at this point she desperate. And I'm like, girl, if I could talk to her, I'd be like, listen, I don't know what you doing, but what you should be doing is putting those houses up for Airbnb, because I feel like if she was doing that and getting some money out of it, then she wouldn't keep talking about this $2 million tag that she got. Or she'd be talking about how she's paying it off or something. I don't know. But baby, $2 million, that made me scared to hear that, because I'm like, ooh. And I don't understand. Her husband is an ex-NBA player or whatever. And NBA players do make bank. I will tell you that. They make more than football players, but not as much as baseball players. So I get it. But girl, $2 million? Shoot, that may be why Charles be having an attitude with her, because, that's a lot of debt. And honey, the finances, that's the number one thing that have people divorced in marriages. Finances. So that may be why we see he got a little attitude with her. I don't know. I know I would have an attitude. $2 million in debt? No, ma'am. So, honey, somebody get this down to Miss Angela Oakley. If those houses aren't moving quick enough, it's too much going on in Atlanta for you not to have these houses on a short-term lease. If you don't want to deal with renters, I get that. But Airbnb or Vrbo, baby, put them up and I guarantee you're going to get income from them. She also talks about how, her mom moved from the house that she had bought them. That was $500,000 that she bought them. And now, I don't know. I guess that house is on the market, and it's kind of like she feels like disrespected, which I get that. I got you a $500,000 house and you don't even want it. Like, ooh, okay. So moving on, honey, I'm done ranting about that, because honey, that just really, I don't know, like I have a business mind, and it doesn't make sense to me to buy up all these houses and just have them sitting there trying to sell them, when you can try to sell them, but if they're not selling after a certain time, I'm gonna tell you right now, I see houses sitting on the market for months at a time. Baby, that's months that you could be making money. Okay? And then once the market gets better or whatever, at that point, put it on the market. Or if you make an improvement to the home and you feel like that'll help it sell, at that point, put it on the market. I mean, like, girl, you do not have to keep these houses just dead on the market and they ain't going nowhere. Like, girl, why? Okay. So anyway, done ranting about that. Brit is talking about her soft launch of her new bare and naked product. It's basically shapewear that you can wear, like I saw she had on the shirt basically, and I like the idea because honey, who don't want a more snatched waist? And it's comfortable. Let her tell it. It's comfortable. It is, flexible, and it's cute. So that's her brand. I think what I may start doing is like testing out some of this girls' stuff and doing like reviews on that. Like, for example, the Go Naked hair that Porsha has, and the Pampered by Porsha sheets, and the bare naked, outfit or whatever. I think I may start doing that just because if we're gonna be watching these ladies and hearing what they got going on, I think it's cool to also review the products and stuff. So I'm gonna put a pin in that. I might do that. But anyway, basically, it was a little off to me, and that's what I mean about Brit. Like, it's a little off, in my opinion, to have this type of event at the country club in her neighborhood. Had these girls come dressed like high tea, but then had them out on the green doing golf. Baby. And I'm all for supporting your friends and stuff. I'm cool with trying to support whatever somebody got going on, but y'all want to see me out there dressed like that on no damn golf course? No, it's hot. For one, this event happened in July. If you've never been to Georgia in July, girl, she would have got cussed out by me. I'm so sorry. Like, girl, it's too hot, okay? And I'm dressed like this. Oh no, I'm not going out on no green. Now, you can get me a spritzer in the clubhouse, in the country club, okay? But I'm not going out on no green, okay? Yeah, I'm not riding in no unair-conditioned golf carts. I'm not walking around in no heels trying to hit no damn tee. No. That's what I mean. Like, she tried to have something classy and cute, which I get it. But the golf... that ain't what you do. Dress like that. Dress like high tea. Okay, they looking like they going to the Kentucky Derby, but they going out there hitting the tee on the green. No. So yeah, that was my first little concern about her event, because yeah, you don't do that. So Porsha came and she was clueless as to what the girl even was selling. She was like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. Like, Porsha tripped me out because 9 times out of 10, Porsha be clueless and she just make it up as she go along. But I love that about her. It's funny to me. Like, Porsha is hilarious to me. I'm so sorry. She cracks me up. So here's another thing that went wrong with Brit's event. Okay, so first of all, I don't know who was planning the event for her. I don't know if they're a startup. I'm not trying to throw any shade. I'm really not. But it was obvious they were not prepared. The event, they were 5 minutes into the start of the event and they still setting stuff up. That's not what you do. Like, and I get it. I live in Atlanta. I know traffic is bad. I know it's like a million people that be on the road at one time in one place, right? But I don't care if you got to leave 2 hours in advance to make sure that everything is set up. You understand the instructions, because not only were they still setting up when her guest came, they didn't have the setup correct. I'm going to talk about the staff first, then I'm going to talk about Brit's plans, because did y'all meet and finalize the plans before the event? Because it seemed like to me they would have known that only the cast was going to get full plates. And they should have had the high top tables that you stand at for the other guests. So basically no seating, which that is so common in Atlanta now. I remember old Atlanta, wherever you went, you had a seat. Now you got to pay for seating, right? Or you're just going to not have the option to pay for seating and just stand wherever you are or sit wherever you are. So for some reason, the staff did not understand that only the cast was going to be getting a full like menu to eat from. And the other guests was just going to have cocktails. So I'm like, you having an event where you're not feeding people? That is a big, big no. No, you don't do that. If you going to have an event, you have to feed people. And I heard cocktails. I don't even think that they had any hors d'oeuvres. Like, I don't know. I didn't see any for the other guests that were standing. And when I looked at the menu, you know, she had a choice of like buttermilk chicken or the salmon for the people who's going to be actually eating. I don't know that the other guests had anything. Shout out to Justin Diego from Bingeworthy though. I saw you, boo. I saw you in the crowd. I would love to know if they had food for y'all or not. I'm gonna go check out. You know, I know he's done his review by now. I'm gonna check out and see what he said about it because, baby, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. Okay, because the way he was looking in that shot when I saw him, I was like, baby, I know he got some tea to spill, and I cannot wait to see it. So shout out to Justin Diego from Bingeworthy. I saw you, boo. But like, I think that that's so tacky. I'm sorry, it's tacky, boo. Like, it's tacky. Don't have an event where you don't feed people and then you had them sitting in front of a table like they finna eat and they not. Girl, okay, so then we see where she only had food and the shapewear for the ladies of the cast. To me, she should have just had them there as a soft lunch. And they could have told her, like gave her some pointers or something, because you gave the shapewear to the ladies and you gave Angela an extra large. Okay. Now we all see Angela. She's tall, but she's not a big woman. So it was an insult. And then she prefaced it by saying, oh, well, if you need sizing, just let me know. If you need different sizing. And it's like, girl, come on, Brit. I mean, I don't know if it was done on purpose. I mean, how else can I see it but done on purpose? Because an extra large on any of those ladies is not going to work, boo. It's just not going to work, okay? So, yeah. That didn't go right for the event. And, you know, what else didn't go right is that Angela, you know, she brought Charles to the event. And she talking about a side baby that he don't have. Okay, I'm so tired of hearing about this non-existent side baby. Let me tell you something. If the baby don't exist, stop talking about it. We talked about that last time, didn't we? I mean, like, didn't we talk about that already? Like, didn't she address that already? Like, why are you going so hard about a baby that don't exist? Girl, that once again to me shows a level of insecurity in her marriage that I wish she didn't have, but she does have. I would, if I could have been beside her, I would have been like, shh, you know, I already talked about that. We ain't got to bring that up. Like, it's of no consequence. The fact that Brit invited her to the event shows that she was trying to like turn over a new leaf. Go to the next page, honey, turn the page. But Angela just can't let it go. And it's like, I wish she had more security in her marriage. That's what she needs to work on for sure. Because, baby, bringing up a side baby that don't even exist, I wouldn't be the one bringing it up. If somebody came to me about it, at that time, I would address it. But when y'all were arguing, going back and forth, you like what you said at that event at the country club should have been said then. You feel me? So, like, it's kind of like, you know how, like, you have an argument with somebody and you going over the argument in your head and you be like, oh, I should have said this. And you just leave it there. No, Angela was like, oh, I should have said this. And then the next time I see her, I'm going to make sure I address it. It's like, girl, let it go. Okay? Leave it alone, girl. Okay, you said he ain't got no side baby. He said he ain't got no side baby. Ain't no woman came forth with no side baby. So leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay? So yeah, I mean, Cynthia was there. Honey, Cynthia was cute and mute, honey. She got on up out of there. Cynthia was like, this, she might as well have added a clown, honey. This is circus. And she ain't wrong. You know what I mean? Because the event didn't go off like it should have. It was cute in there, though. It was real cute in there. I like the whole setup and everything. But, yeah, I did catch what Kelli said about the neighbors acting like they didn't know Brit. I mean, here's my thing about that, though. Like, you can definitely live in a neighborhood and the people don't know you. I'm not big on neighbors being all up in my business or all up in my space, me going to their house, them coming to my house. I'm not big on that, because if things go wrong, if things sour between you and the neighbors, y'all got to live there together. And it's like, I can be cordial, I can speak, I can say hello, how are you, but I'm not trying to be hanging out like that. I mean, that's just me. I'm not saying that I'm trying to be antisocial. It's just, you got to be careful who you invite in your space, right? So the fact that she was saying that didn't nobody act like they knew who she was, like, I mean, was it in her neighborhood or not, though? Like, she said that the country club was in her neighborhood. You've been to her house before, you know if that's in her neighborhood. So, you know, I mean, to me, the comment was implying as if she didn't live there, when we know that Kelli has been to Brit's house and she knows whether that's her neighborhood or not. Because there's a lot of neighborhoods out here in Atlanta where there's country club, golf course. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're the higher end neighborhoods or whatnot. If you live in a neighborhood that's got like a golf course on it, I mean, that's kind of like a top tier neighborhood for sure. Like, that's one of the ways you know that it's a nice neighborhood, that you see the golf course. And then you add a country club to that. Yeah, I mean, you talking, yeah, a real ass situation as far as the neighborhood goes, as far as money point, price point, stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. That comment to me would imply that she didn't know whether or not that was her neighborhood or not, which she should. Okay, because usually the golf course, the country club, and all that is in the beginning, beyond the gates of the neighborhood. So, but I caught it. I caught it. I'm starting to see a little bit of a crack, a fracture, hairline crack in the friendship between the two girls, because when she invited Shamea to host a trip with her instead of Brit, that let me know a little something, because y'all supposed to be, you know, best friends or whatever, and then now you going to Shamea to host a trip with you. Okay, whatever. So we starting to see the fracture line, hairline crack in their friendship for some reason. We just haven't seen it play out on the camera yet. Okay, what else? So yeah, that event happens, and it's pretty much a wrap. It was a flop to me. I would give her grace, because this is her first event that she has done with the ladies, and that must have been her first time using that particular company to help her with it. So we're gonna give them grace. I'm not judging them too harshly, because, you know, it's a first time for everything, and there are mistakes that happen. And so hopefully, though, next time, girl, you get some better communication and understanding with your staff that you hire, and I hope that the company that was helping her with it actually learned from the experience and can do better. Okay, so moving on, we see where Miss Frack is back, honey. Miss Phaedra Parks is back in front of the cameras before us, and they did kind of like a recap for those that don't know who Phaedra is, or they're just now starting to watch Real Housewives. They show us some things from the past with Phaedra, how she started, and then how she eventually ended up leaving, which was cool. And then, you know, we see Porsha and Phaedra sitting on the couch, kicking or whatever. You can tell that Porsha really needed that energy that Phaedra brought. And they were talking about the girls, and they were just running through, and they were talking about how tiny Kelli is, which she is so small, but she's so cute. I seen her in person at an event, and you know, Phaedra, she's even smaller than Phaedra. So, honey, because Phaedra ain't but this tall, and Kelly's even shorter. So I think it's cute. I always wish I was short. But anyway, moving on. They move on to talk about, you know, Shamea and all the rest of the girls. It's obvious that Phaedra, it's not like she dislikes Angela. It's like she was like, I don't know Angela. And that seems to be a recurring theme when it comes to Angela and Charles. Don't nobody know who she is. Everybody know Charles, but don't nobody know Angela until now. And it's like, was he out and about town without his wife? Like, I don't know. It's weird. And then she was talking about how, the streets be talking about, she called Brit a woman about town. That's a nice Southern Belle way of saying slut, if you will. She said, but now she's married. And, she was talking about the quality of her, lady parts must be up to par because somebody wiped her. The shade, honey, the shade that Phaedra be throwing, baby. And then she talked about, Drew. She don't really know Drew. So, I guess Porsha is going to let Phaedra figure out who Drew is to her, which, I'm a fan of that. I'd rather you let somebody have their own experience with somebody than you try to taint that experience. Okay, so they call Shamea because, of course, Porsha wants Phaedra to come on the trip. So she was like, well, let me call the host, honey. I ain't trying to just invite nobody because she just had it happen to her. Okay, so how does it feel, right? So they call Shamea, and then Shamea loops in Kelli, and they like, yay, we going on the trip. Okay, cool. So yeah, they start talking about dating, and Porsha's like, I ain't dating nobody yet. It just don't feel right. Which, ma'am, I agree. It's too soon for you at that point in your life to be trying to date somebody, and you're not even divorced yet. You're not sure what's gonna happen. Like, it's just, yeah, it's too soon. And then Phaedra does bring up Shaq and how they're still kicking it. They just having a good time. She has said, which I figured is nothing serious. She's just having a good time with the man. That's fine. He is a grown man. He's unmarried. She's unmarried. They can do what they want to do. Me personally, I think that's a huge age gap. And I don't see her taking somebody that young seriously. You know what I mean? So that's neither here nor there. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how long it lasts or whatever. But, I mean, when it's something like that, I mean, there's nothing to really see here. When it's over, it's over. When it stops, it stops. I mean, she ain't worrying about it. She has been divorced for a while now, and she's not taking anyone seriously. I think that Phaedra's point of view is to just work and raise her kids and have fun. And I can't say I blame her. I did that for a while. Between my split up with my ex-husband and me even meeting my new husband, it was about 10 years. And in between that time, yeah, I dated. I, had a couple of relationships here and there that didn't last too long and whatever. So I get that. Do I think that Phaedra will get married to somebody one day? It's got to be the right somebody, baby. He got to be rich, honey. She can't work more than him. And if she does work more than him, it's because he has something residual set up that's making him mad money. Because I don't see her getting with somebody that this time, rather. Because, Apollo, she was a lawyer and is a lawyer. And Apollo is younger than her, and he was just really starting out when they met or whatever. Like, they was, back and forth. Like, she said she knew Apollo when she was, like, young. Like, right out of college or whatever. And so they were both just really starting their lives. But at this stage in her life, I don't see her not being serious about somebody who is more established than she is, which makes sense to me. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the episode. They ended it off with Phaedra's return, and we see where the next episode, the trip. I love seeing where they go. I love seeing where they stay, because it's like, wow, you get to really see secondhand what's out there to go and visit and see. So yeah, it looks like they start off having a good time, but we'll see how it goes, child, because we see as soon as they sit down, it's like every time they get to a table, it's like, ready, set, fight. So we'll see how it goes. That's all for this episode. What do y'all think? I mean, do y'all think that Phaedra's gonna breeze in a fresh, new energy and fresh breath into the show, fresh new life into the show? I think is needed. I think that her time on Real Housewives would be better served. It's where she is familiar. It's what she's used to. And yeah, so I want to see how it goes. But y'all tell me what y'all think. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share, all the good things. I appreciate each and every last one of you, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.